Hey guys, today I just want to talk a little bit about dirt bike handlebars on a sport bike. This is probably the most common thing I get asked about on my 636, so I thought I'd just make a short video talking about how I did it, why I did it, and how it changes the overall bike handling. So installing the handlebars was pretty easy. Basically all I did is I drilled 2 holes right into the triple tree clamp and then just bolted the bar clamps onto there. As you can see on this side, it's kind of ghetto how I have it set up because this mount right there, which is meant to hold the brake fluid reservoir, it kind of gets in the way, so you can't just bolt it flush on the bottom. So what I did is I just put a huge washer and then just tightened the piss out of that nut, and it seems to be holding on pretty well. As you can see, the other side is a much cleaner install. The bolt just sits flush with the bottom of the triple tree clamp, and that's probably how it should be, but I didn't think before I drilled the holes. Once you've drilled your holes and put them in hopefully a smarter place than I did, just go ahead and bolt your bar clamps to the triple tree and then throw on your bar of choice. And then the next issue you might run into is the cables for the clutch. It's pretty simple, at least on the 636. You just need to reroute it so where it goes inside of the fork instead of typically where we go around the outside. The throttle cables were probably the hardest thing to reroute because you actually need to go, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to show it, but you need to go in front of the radiator. So you kind of got to squeeze them and get them through a pretty tight gap. Once you have it figured out, there's no binding, the throttle twists fine. Your wires for the turn signals and everything should be good to go. I did break this wire here. That's for the I don't know, is that electric choke? Not really important because it's been broken for about 4 months and it still rides fine. And then you're onto your brake cable, and you'll probably need to buy a new one like I did, because on most bikes it's just going to be a straight shot from the master cylinder to the caliper, and there's really no way to reroute it, so just go ahead and buy a longer one. I think that's 32 inches and the stock is 27, so just give yourself about 5 inches of extra play. 5 inches is about that long. And that's pretty much all you have to do to get the bars on. You, in most cases, will have to trim the fairing down. In my case, I cut it right after the mirrors, so that way I didn't have to mess with the well, what is that thing called? I know it. Fairing stay, that's right. I didn't want to cut the fairing stay, and I also wanted to have these bolts right there to kind of keep it all together. And but luckily everything clears just fine. Bar end mirrors are probably ideal for handlebars like this because you really cannot see anything because your hands are right where the mirrors are. But I just left it for now, and that's about it. As far as riding, it makes a huge difference. You're sitting a lot more upright, but it changes the feel. It feels like you're on top of the bike. I'll see if I think I have a clip-on over here. Here we go. So the stock clip-ons, they bolt around the fork and they're aimed something like that. So you can see that's a pretty drastic difference. And it just moves you way up higher. Feels kind of like a dirt bike. As is what I'm more familiar with. And also, the bars are a lot wider, just something I really like. Gives you more leverage and helps you toss the bike around. So I did this basically just because I use this bike to commute and ride mostly in the city to and from school, and I'm not doing a ton of highway riding, which this bike is still perfectly capable of. It just kind of sucks not having the wind deflection of a full windscreen and also sitting upright, but at the end of the day I would highly recommend it. It still feels fine in the turns. One thing, it does feel a little bit more awkward to lean with the bike. Clip-ons kind of throw you in a situation where it's really natural to just hang off the side. Here it's a little bit different, but I really like it. Makes the bike feel smaller, more nimble, and overall I'd say it's a good investment if you like riding maybe a supermoto and you want to get that same feeling with a sport bike. Yeah, that's about it.